Good morning, guys. My name is Roland. I'm here to present a roundtable presentation towards my end of course exam. And I'm a student of UMGC. And the title of the course is Information Technology Project. So, project management. So I will be presenting, this presentation is going to take maximum 20 minutes and minimum 15 minutes. So I have so many slides, but we might not really go deep into everything. But I think the slides and the pictures may also help in really giving details if at the end of the discussion you might want it, I might forward it to you individually so that you can also go through. So let me start immediately. So as I said, I'm a student of UMGC, and this course is IT project management. And my name is Roland Su, and the date of today is the 5th of May 2020. This presentation and roundtable discussion will be on the following topics covered within the past 11 weeks, which included project management, stakeholders, project integration, change management, and project risk management. Project stakeholders are the most critical people who play a role in any project success, and the project managers must communicate with them effectively and must be able to differentiate between internal and external stakeholders. And in order to identify these different stakeholders, we can use different documents and techniques such as project charter, enterprise environmental factors, interviews, questioning these stakeholders. After these stakeholders are identified, as a project manager, they need to be engaged with an engagement strategy by reflecting on previous plan and project, stakeholders analysis, creating a clear step-by-step process. Managing stakeholders engagement process requires aspect judgment or expert judgment, communication skill, conflict management skill, negotiating ground rules, meetings, and equally understanding them, considering them as humans. An engagement plan should be created in order to better manage as well as monitor them. Meetings, interviews, and workshops should be frequent with them. As a project manager, you will be respected by these stakeholders based on your judgment, predictability, and reliability, as well as decision making. There are some red flags that as a project manager, you can notice that a particular stakeholder may become difficult, such as the manner in which he or she communicates, shares critical remarks, don't share a sense of urgency. Another interesting topic will be looking at a project integration and change management, which can be placed at any level or phase of the project management cycle, which is initiation, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. As humans, we always like to interconnect and collaborate so as to have the best, be it schedule, cost, scope, quality, resources, in order to ensure success. For better management of project integration, the following Processes must be followed, such as creating the charter scope statement, developing a project plan. Project knowledge. Project knowledge, monitor and control project work, and equally perform integration change control as from the start till finish. Note should be taken that during integration management, different practices do emerge, such as project management information systems, visual tools, project knowledge, hybrid methodologies, and expansion. On the other hand, according to some scholars like Mary Kay and George Lanson, change management is a systematic approach to dealing with the transition or transformation of an organization's goal, processes, or technologies. The purpose of change management is to implement strategies for affecting change, controlling change, and helping people to adapt to change. There are 4 different types of change management, which include anticipatory change, reactive changes, incremental changes, and strategic changes, having either a positive or a negative impact on change management. For change management to take place in project management, the project manager must have to understand why the organization needs change, identify the needed stakeholders that need to effect the change. Also, they need to identify the influential stakeholders by asking questions such as the impact of the stakeholder, what he wants from the stakeholder, etc. And for each stakeholder, the project manager equally needs to answer some questions such as how much influence do they have on the change or on the project. Project managers must understand that for change to be well effective, roles and responsibilities must be well defined for the entire team to follow. He must equally build a change management team with specific duties, such as change management process owner, the manager itself, who will effect that change. In project managers, for this change, and after which follow the steps of creating a change communication plan, which includes defining the objectives, stakeholders analysis to profile audience. Project managers will have to execute. They will have to equally implement, execute, and enforce the change management plan by rolling out the project incrementally, making sure the timeline is set, ensuring leaders of change should lead by examples, and reviewing the process regularly. They should equally use data to review as well. Finally, this change management plan has to be constantly developed and redeveloped by always assessing the current state, creating realistic change goals, redesigning the plan, and assign open-minded people to own the changes. The last topic to be treated in this presentation is project risk management, which is a process that aims to reduce project risks that have already occurred, are occurring, or are likely to occur in the future, looking at the uncertainty and tolerance level that will be involved. As project managers, it is but imperative to study the risk factors in any project and share reasons why some stakeholders in the course of the project should study project risks such as schedule cost, quality technology, and others. There are some common types of project management risk, which includes individual project risk, overall project risk, variability and ambiguity risk. All these risks are influenced by other factors. To really study project risks, management, to really study this project risk, management should implement a management plan with rules, budgeting, responsibilities, timing, reporting, format, tracking, and so on. This should produce that so that we can determine if the risk is low, moderate, or high. The process of risk management is a framework that actions needs to be taken. There are 5 basic steps that are taken to manage risk, which include identifying, analyzing, evaluating, treating, and monitoring them. Talking of risk identification management, project management does as much to determine which of the risk affects the project most by looking at the characteristics of the risk categories, if they are technical, quality management, organizational, or external. The next will be to analyze the risk, which will be by either quantitatively or qualitatively. Qualitatively, analysis will determine which risk wants immediate response, determine the probability and the impact, non-critical or non-top risk. For quantitative risk analysis, we will be looking at the numerical analysis of the highest risk in the project by determining the probability and the overall risk ranking for the project. This helps us to know if it is negligible, moderate, high, or measured. After analyzing the risks, project managers have to come out with a risk response plan, which should present the strategies that will be agreed upon in advance by all stakeholders and individuals assigned in groups for a proper response. And talking about these strategies, as a project manager, we have to be looking at avoidance, way to mitigate them, accepting, transferring, looking at low and high probabilities in order to meet up with dead limits, because these risks always hinder the progress of the project, and project managers do not always meet up with the date limit. Finally, we have to monitor and control these risks. This will involve managing the project according to the risk response plan, keeping track, looking for triggers, monitoring residual, and identifying new risks. Conclusively, stakeholders play a tremendous role in project management. Project managers need to know and communicate properly for the job to be done. Integration and change management will always happen in the life of cycle of any project because of the end user's interactive need and the comfort in the realization of that project. And of course, risk management is a very important role, has a very important role in project management, because without knowing the risk, it is very difficult for you to meet up with your target. And here are some of my some of the references that I got my facts from. Thank you. We've come to the end of the presentation. I just need any appreciation, any questions, then we can answer and end the show.
Yes, thank you for that presentation, Roland Su. I took a keen interest into your presentation as it has to do with project management. I think your presentation was well articulated. The slides were colorful and were accessible, could be understood by the active partners, that is the stakeholders in management, project management, as well as non-partners who go over your work will be able to understand especially aspects that has to do with risk response plan, which you spoke elaborately with the slides which were also were presented on aspects like avoidance, mitigation, and acceptance. Once again, your presentation was a good one. We'll say thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me those words of encouragement. I think I'll really work more on that. And if this work might also help some other people in the nearest future. Hi, Emmanuel.
And overall, in general, great explanation, about, these topics and, great graphics and, diagrammatic representation as well. But, yeah, overall, I think, it was a great presentation. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to end the presentation. Thank you all for having time to listen to what I was about to explain or what I explained.